children. How are you all? I hope that you all are fine at your home. First of all, I would like to welcoming you for our Jnanadiksha 3 sessions biology class. Before going to start a class, I would like to show you a slide. Please watch that slide and try to guess our today's topic. Okay, children? What that animals are doing there? Yes, animals are having their food. Yes, your guess is correct. That is, our today's topic is nutrition in animals. And first we shall see our objectives. Okay, we'll move to our objectives. See, here the animals are taking their food. And next, we have to see our objectives. Yes, nutrition, definition, and why animals need nutrition, where do animals get nutrition, types of animals, how do animals feed, and what do animals eat. These are the things which we are going to discuss today. First, we will see the definition of nutrition. Okay? See. What is meant by nutrition? Nutrition is the process of providing or obtaining the food which is necessary for our health and growth is nutrition. Who are providing us food? Yes, plants are providing us food. That's why we call plants as a producer. Who are obtaining the food? Yes, animals are obtaining the food from the plants. Hence, they are called as consumers. Okay. Next, why we need nutrition? Means why do animals need nutrition? Let us see. Why animals need nutrition? Animals have to perform their daily routine as well as some processes called life processes which are necessary for their survival. To perform their activities, day-to-day life activities or life processes, they need energy. So, they get their energy from their food. Okay. See, what are those life processes? Life processes. Movement, growth, nutrition, transportation, excretion, respiration, and reproduction. These are called life processes which have to be animals perform must and should. If we stop these life processes, our life will stops there. Okay, children. So, for the activities of routine and these life processes, animals need energy. So, that energy they will get from their nutrition. This is the necessity of nutrition. And next, our topic is where do animals get nutrition? From where do animals get nutrition? Where they get nutrition? Can you tell? Yes, they obtain their food from plants. Plants are the producers in this planet. Okay, plants can prepare their food by the process of photosynthesis by taking some inorganic materials like carbon dioxide, water, and using photosynthesis they are synthesizing the food and they are providing us food. Hence, they are called and plants are called autotrophs. Here, animals depends upon their food needs on the plants directly or indirectly. Okay. So, how can they depend directly on the plants? For example, you take plants here which is eaten by rabbit, which is eaten by tiger. Here, rabbit depends upon their nutrition directly on the plants, but in case of tiger, it will depends on the plants indirect. Directly, indirectly. Rabbits have the plants directly, but tiger have plants indirectly by taking the rabbit as a food. Okay. Like this, animals depends upon their food needs directly or indirectly on the plants or other animals, and this kind of nutrition is known as heterotrophic nutrition. What is it called? Heterotrophic nutrition. And this heterotrophic nutrition can be three types. Okay. See the slide? Yes. Saprophytic, parasitic, and holozoic. In this saprophytic, animals obtain their food from dead and decaying matter. Okay. For example, fungi. You see here the bread is spreaded by fungus. Here the fungus will take their nutrition from this bread. Okay. This is a plant product. That's why we are saying that saprophytic nutrition. And some bacteria also will follow this type of nutrition. Okay. Next, come to parasitic nutrition. Here, organisms obtains their food from other living organisms called hosts, and they will do some harm to the host but they do not kill the host. For example, the worms which is present in our stomach and gut, and the mites which are present on skin, and lice which are present in our hair and the body are the examples of some parasitic nutrition. Okay. You might have seen that scabies mites which lives on our skin, and they will get their nutrition from our body, and they will do some itching and inconvenience to us. Okay. This is what is that parasitic nutrition. Next, we'll move to holozoic nutrition. What is meant by holozoic nutrition? Here, the organisms obtain their nutrition as in the form of solids or liquids. They can have their food from the plants or animals, parts of the plants or parts of the animals, or they can have whole the animal. For this, we can take amoeba as an example, and all the plant eating animals and animal eating animals comes under this type of nutrition. And children, can I ask you a question? Yes, we comes under where in these three types of nutrition? Can you say? Yes, we comes under holozoic nutrition. And after taking that solid molecules or liquid particles digested with the help of digestive enzymes, and then the nutrients are absorbed by our body. This is what holozoic nutrition. Okay. Next, types of animals. You can see types of animals. How many, do you know how many types of animals are there? Yes, we have 3 types of animals. Just see in the slide. Okay. Herbivores, carnivores, and omnivores are the types of animals. We divided these animals according to their food habits, mode of nutrition. Herbivores means animals which takes plants as their food. Herba means plant, ores means eaters. Okay. Herbivores takes only plants as their food and plant products also, but they do not take any animal food. Okay. Example, cow, sheep, elephant, etc. And next come to carnivores. Carnivores are the animals which eat flesh. Corn means flesh, ores means eaters. Carnivores means flesh eating animals. They won't eat plants and in any circumstances. Okay. So tiger and lion are the examples for carnivores. Next come to omnivores. Here these animals can eat both the animals and plants as their food. Okay. Here the examples are hen, crow, bear and etc. Okay. Children, where do we come under these three types? Yes, we comes under omnivores. We comes under omnivores type of animals. We can eat both plant as well as animal food. Okay. See, next next we shall discuss about their food taking methods. Okay. How they are taking their food. How we are having our food? With the help of our hands, we are getting the food into our mouth, and with the help of teeth we are chewing and followed by swallowing. Say in the same way, different animals will follow the different ingestion methods. We shall see the different animals how they are taking the food now. Okay, ingestions means nothing but ingestion. Nothing but taking of food into their mouth. Or you can write putting a food into the mouth. Putting of the food into the mouth is known as ingestion. Okay, we'll move to the slide of different to see different ingestions. Here, birds swallows their food. Birds, they do not have teeth, so they can't chew their food. Simply they swallow the food. Okay. And next come to snakes. Snakes swallow their food. What they do eat? Can you know? Yes, they eat frogs and mice. They will have small teeth in their mouth, but that teeth are not useful in chewing the food, but they are help them in grab their food. Okay, so snakes swallow the food. And here one interesting thing is snakes can separate out their jaws to open their mouth wide. Here, so they can have their food which is bigger than that of their mouth. Here, see, we have a joint between our jaws. We cannot open our mouth as our like. It has some restriction. We can open our mouth like this. Up to this extent only we can open our mouth. But in case of snakes, the joint is absent. Due to the joint is absent, they can open their mouth and they can have their prey which is bigger than that of their mouth. Okay. Here, next we'll go for another thing, that is frogs and lizards. How they are catching their prey? Prey means the organisms which are eaten by the organisms. Okay. And here they use their long and sticky to catch their prey. They simply throw their tongue on the prey and they'll get back their food into their mouths. Okay. They're having very smooth and soft, long, sticky tongue which is help them to take their prey. Okay. We'll see. And one more interesting thing here we have to say is our tongue is attached to our buccal cavity at the back and it is free at front side. But in case of frogs and lizards, it's attached to front side and open at back end. Okay, so they can just throw their tongue on the prey and they will catch the prey. Okay, next come to tearing and chewing type of mechanism. Okay, here tigers and lions comes under this mechanism, and with the help of their strong pointed curved teeth, tigers, all carnivorous animals tear their food, and with the help of strong grinding teeth they will chew their food followed by swallow. Here next come to chewing and swallowing type. Here all the herbivores comes under this type, and all the herbivores have flat, broad and flat sharp front teeth. They use to cut their grass to have it, okay, which is used in cutting the grass, and then they will chew the food and followed by swallow. And we can see that cows and buffaloes first bite and swallow their food. Later they will get back their food into their mouths and they'll start chewing slowly, which is called chew cud, and they can get their food as in the form of cud into their mouths, and they will chew again it slowly. Okay, this is called nemaru also. Okay, this is called chew cud. Cud is the partially digested food. Okay, cud is known as partially digested food. Next, come to another type of mechanism, that is nibbling of food. Okay, rabbits and mice nibble their food, means they bite their food. They will have their food in by taking small bites. Okay, this is what nibbling of food. By this method, and rabbits and mice, they take their prey. Okay, next their food. Next you come to lapping, and here you can see the rabbit and mice nibble their food. And next we see lapping of food. Here in cats and dogs we can see this lapping method. They lap the liquids like milk and water with the help of their tongues, and their tongue is accordingly designed like that. Okay, next come to suck, and here we can see dogs and cats lapping the liquid foods. Okay, next come to sucking mode of ingestion. Here butterflies and bees suck their nectar from the flowers, and mosquitoes suck the blood and plant juices also. Okay, here in their place of mouth they are having a straw or tube like structure which is called proboscis. With the help of this proboscis, they will just suck the food from the plants and animals. Okay, these are the some ingestion methods which have seen in the different types of animals. Okay, then come to what do animals eat. Next come to what do animals eat. What do they eat? Some animals they may eat plant food, and they may eat animal food, nuts and everything. Here the food which is taken by the animals has some components called nutrients. What is meant by nutrients? The substances which gives us our body nourishment are called nutrients. The substances which gives our body nutrition are also called as nutrients. We see some of the nutrients here. Okay. See the slide? The components of our diet: carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins, minerals and fiber, water as well as water. These 7 are the main components of our food. And here we should see one by one. Here carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are energy giving foods. They will give us energy, instant energy. Okay. The sources of these carbohydrates are here. We have, see here, rice, chapati, potato and bread are the rich sources of carbohydrates, and these carbohydrates gives us energy. And next come to proteins. Proteins will build our body. You are all the growing children. You need your body building. So these proteins will provide you body building. Okay, and it will repair our body also. Okay, see some of the sources of proteins here. The milk, curd, eggs and chicken, mutton and these pulses are the sources of proteins. Next come to fats. Fats also provides us energy, but these, and they will give us energy exactly double of the amount of carbohydrates when we take the same quantity. Okay, so these fats, but fats releases energy not immediately. They will take some time because they are complex. To digest the fats, we require some time. So instead, if we require instant energy, then we go for carbohydrates. Then, but fats gives us energy. And what are these sources of fats? We'll see here. The ghee, oil, and butter are the sources of fats. And next, come to vitamins and minerals. Vitamins and minerals provides us immunity, and they will protect us from various diseases. And here some of the sources are there for the vitamins and minerals. Here the fruits and vegetables are the sources of these vitamins and minerals. Here I would like to stress on one thing. We are fighting with this COVID-19, and we have no medicines for that. So far we didn't get any vaccine to this pandemic disease. So, and we have to enhance our body strength by taking our food. It is only the way which we are having. Okay, so we have to take the vitamins like C and D are more important for us to fight with the COVID-19. So remember that have the vitamin C sources. Means vitamin C is rich in all citrus fruits, all green vegetables and leafy vegetables. So have daily, please add in your diet these items in daily. Okay. Next, D vitamin. You will get D vitamin easy from the sunlight. So expose yourself for sunlight for 1 hour daily, and then take eggs and milk, nuts, which will provide you D vitamin. Okay, and remember these things. And one more thing I would like to discuss here is the food pyramid, and in which quantities we have to take these food items in our diet. Okay, so here you see this food pyramid. You see this food pyramid. Here in the base of the food pyramid we have carbohydrates. Why? Because we need carbohydrates more. We require energy for our all daily routine. So we need more carbohydrates. That's why we place the carbohydrates in the base. Next, we have to add vegetables and fruits in our diet, because this will protect us from various diseases, okay, and disorders. That's why we should include our diet these things. Next, we have to go for proteins. Proteins will build our body so that we can get strength. So this we need a lot. Next, come to fats. We have to consume fats less when compared to proteins and vitamins and minerals and carbohydrates, because they produce us more energy. So we should not avoid fats. It is an essential food component, but we need in the small quantities. And here we place some foods like biscuits, ice creams and all these. These have more fats, and which we need in lesser quantities. Okay, once in a while we can have, but not daily. Okay, this is our food pyramid, which tells us about the quantity of components how we have to take in our daily life. Okay, next come to carbohydrates. Carbohydrates and fats are called energy giving foods, and here the proteins are called body building foods, whereas here the vitamins and minerals are called protective foods. Okay, here next water and roughage. We have to know about something about water and roughage. They will not give any kind of nutrients, but water involves in transportation of nutrients, which is very important, and our body is also having 70% of mass of water. Okay, so we need water, that's why we included water into these components. And roughage, what did the where do we get roughage? Roughage nothing but food fiber, and it will comes from all the peels of vegetables and fruits, and also the whole grains. Okay, it will scrubs our digestive system, it cleans our body, it removes all the poisonous toxic materials from our body. This is the importance of roughage. Okay, next our project work. Come to our project work. Here observe different types of animals in your surroundings and write what they eat and how they are having their food in a tabular form. And second one is draw the neat diagram of sources of food components and color them. Thank you. Thank you for giving this opportunity.